So today we are talking about twin flame, sacred counterparts. I had to just laugh because I've just done this whole post once before and my computer just told me a big fat message saying disk full, no more space. And I was like, wow, that's how much information I'm trying to bring through on the twin flame and the sacred counterpart. There is a lot. Since the quadruple two gateway and portal on Sunday, I call it the quadruple two rather than 2222, but we all know that big gateway and portal that opened on Sunday, all this information's come flooding through, and it's like with a need of urgency now that we got to deliver this information and kind of like apply it in our lives. I know that my good soul sister, my good friend and soul sister Sia Lanu, got the same kind of information through and at the same speed, and I'm going to share her posts which will marriage perfectly with mine because they're all in alignment, with each other. So twin flame, sacred counterpart. If you are on your path already, you will totally know what a twin flame is and that you are indeed one, and a sacred counterpart. Not a great relationship as far as like fun and joy is concerned, because most of the time you're in separation out there with your boo, and separation here inside, which is probably the path of all of us right now, of working from separation to wholeness. So basically, I have notes written out here. I have a lot to bring through, so I'm going to try and keep it as flowing and as simple as possible. So my backstory, is I am indeed a twin flame. I've been married for 19 years to my partner, and in the past 5 years, we became separated. We're still very much married. I just mean separated by location. We moved from Zimbabwe to Cape Town. He was supposed to come with circumstances that unfolded, human stuff. Businesses wouldn't sell, had to stay in Zim, better to stay there and earn our money there, blah, blah, blah. And he ended up having to support that side as well as support us on this side. But our journeys had to part. So we did the distance relationship. And as hard as that journey has been, it has also been amazing with the growth of the inner work that we've both been pushed to go through. And I would say that we would never, ever have been able to do this work together. It makes absolute perfect sense that we were pulled apart, and then that's when the real work started to happen. So, I mean, at the end of the day, to keep it in a really, really small nutshell, the purpose of a twin flame union is basically balance the masculine and feminine energies inside you and inside of them. And once that you both do your inner work, only when that has happened, then the union can occur. So we have been plotting this journey for 5 years now, and it's really come to a peak now. And with twin flame relationships, what actually happens is, or what's happened with me, and Sialanu as obviously speaks about it in her post as well, is how with these twins or sacred counterparts, what's happened is we've come to this planet to do big work, to anchor big energies, all to do with the supporting of the ascension of the planet. And it's big work. It's big work. So we have to balance our masculine and feminine energies, which are really painful because there's a lot of memory of betrayal and heartache and the memory of the separation we've had in past lives before. A lot of pain. As I've started to embrace my twin flame label, as it were, it has become more flowy, but it's also become extremely painful, even more so because I've really got to the work. Because for a long time, I kind of like pushed off the fact that I was a twin flame, because I was just like labels. And the more I pushed it off, the more stagnant I became. But now I've really embraced the fact that that's what it is. Get over it. Just get the work done. Things have started to flow. The work is a lot more painful, but it moves through a lot quicker. And now I'm kind of getting to that point where I just think, okay, there's lightness coming now because the understanding of the journey has been had and it's been embodied. And now it's about just practically applying it. That's where I am on my journey. So with the twins, as I say, it's mentioned in Sialanu's post, what actually happens is, conveniently, through fear of us not wanting to step into our power and our purpose and our sovereignty, because it's scary, right? Because all of us are there. We hang back and we wait for our twin and we say, oh, no, I can't do my journey. Because my guy over here or my female over here, she or he is not moving. And, I'm just going to hang back here and wait because we got to move together. How convenient is that? When actually what that translates to is I'm going to hang back and get involved in their lives and get tangled up with all their shit, because basically I'll make myself busy with that, so I don't have to do my own journey because it scares the living bejesus out of me. So that's what's happened. And now the spirit won't allow you to do that. I mean, I have been wrapped over the knuckles. This is me holding on. And then spirit came through with like massive broom to the knuckles. Boom, I let go. And I was like, that was sore. And it took a really, really big stick, and it took a really, really big whack for me to let go and unplug from my relationship as it was, which then consequently ricocheted over to my twin flame. And he had to let go as well, because there's no party for one. Do you know what I mean? And that's what's happened, is this big void happened. And we were like, well, what does this mean? And it's very, very scary, because it's basically trying to understand, well, all the familiarity of our relationship, you're like, where is it? It's gone. It can't work in this current energy and forward and on. So, and I also can't hang back and wait for him. And neither should he me, because the journey actually, ultimately, even though this is about being in union and wholeness and togetherness, is ultimately about being in your power. And that's kind of a little bit of an individual vibe, you know, because every single time you step out your bubble to go and fix him or her, or step out over the line and just go, oh, let me do this, you will get exhausted, because that's not your path. You've got to sort yourself out. So you kind of go, oh my God, so frustrated. You fall back in your chair and you go, oh, choose me. And ultimately you surrender. And then what happens is you plod along, great expansion. Okay, I'm getting this twin flame thing. And then all of a sudden you get pulled into their shit again, and you get all frantically and fearful. They're like, what if they don't come with? What if they don't come with? Let me try and bring this into wholeness. It's not a physical thing. It's an internal thing. So you get tired again, and then you fall back in the chair and go, oh, I choose me, until you work your way up this spiral. So each time you're going into the depths of choosing you more and more and more, until such time you just don't entertain it. And you don't even have to have that conversation, if I choose me, because you're just doing it anyway, because you know deep down that ain't a plan. You can't go that way. It's not available to you anymore. And nor they you, you know, so that's kind of like where the expansion comes in. And that's where we've been led to right now, because it's been very much a game of ping pong, back and forth, because twins and counterparts, we reflect our shit back to each other, because we are separate souls, but we have a unique soul design. But these unique soul designs are actually the same. So don't get it twisted when they say, okay, we are one soul, you know, we share a soul. No, we don't. Why would they call it twin souls, twin flames? No. You have your own space here, but you share the same grid work, let's say, and your chakras are the same as theirs, and theirs are the same as you. So you can imagine how much you feel constantly. And that is the work of the twin flame, because when they mirror you, you get triggered, you've got to clear that shit. And then when you mirror them, you trigger them. And then that's great, where the game of ping pong goes on. But as long as the game of ping pong is going up the spiral. But what many of us are doing is we're getting stuck here, and all we're doing is this. And that's not going to vibe, because then basically you're in victim, until one pulls out and just says, stuff this for a game of soldiers. I'm not doing it, you know, and then the energy has to change, you know. So now I've kind of feel like I've personally, in my experience, I've gone like all this, and now I've basically chosen me, and I've understood what is being asked of me for my mission and purpose as a twin flame. When I clear for all. But now what has become very apparent is the understanding the importance of balancing the masculine and the feminine energies within. Now, I've always been a very masculine go-doer kind of person, not soft and feminine. The feminine is all about your creativity, being able to take risks and get out there and just create, like the alchemist, just, you know, magic balls flying everywhere. Wonderful. You know, being, you know, in touch with your sacred sexuality and just being in flow and fun and joy and yeah, all of the above. And then the purpose of the divine masculine is to support that. It's almost just to hold space so she can dance around and twirl her skirts and just be free and not fearful that somebody's going to take her out, because he's like, no, babe, I got you. I'm going to just hold space here while you do like the can and like, you know, flick your hair back, whatever you got to do. Now, just because I'm talking about females, it doesn't mean that the actual masculine male in physical form does not have this inside of them. So if you are a male and you're watching this, what you will probably be experiencing is great business ideas, how to make money, wanting to manifest this car, like guy stuff. Do you know what I mean? And because that's how they relate to kind of like the providing, the hunter-gatherer. So you might be thinking like business and everything like that, which is creativity, right? But then you're like, okay, well, why isn't it flying? Or why do I make money, lose money? Why am I so disempowered that I've forgotten how to step into my power and vibe with other guys and go and ask for what I want and do good business deals? Why is there fear inside of me? That's your perception of your divine masculine letting you down. So the creativity is the business ideas, and the divine masculine is the one that kind of like, empowers the space for you to put systems in place, for you to springboard off of that and create all your ideas. So that's how it will work. That's how it does work. So with that being said, there's like this coming together and with this wholeness coming into the center. And I work very, very deeply with the Egypt energies. And, I'm really, really connected to the Great Pyramid. Out of all the temples in Egypt, I work with that energy all the time. And even when I'm in Egypt, it's like the one I respond to the most. And the Great Pyramid energies and medicine, healing energy, is all about unity consciousness. So when I do journey work, which is just deep meditation and traveling through meditation, to the pyramid, I've had big experiences recently. Even when I physically went there, I had big experiences, big activations. So a lot of like channel and guidance has come through the pyramid, again, because it's a reflection of being in unity consciousness. It was communicated to me that is my job here, to integrate that in myself, embody it, and share it with others. So with the unity consciousness, that means, the belief in Egypt is obviously you are the stars on earth. So, the Milky Way is a reflection of the Nile. You are beings, light beings, star beings on this earth. Heaven as is above, so is below. You are heaven on earth. And when we embody that, and when we understand that, and when we have that, then everything is in divine flow. So there's none of that separation we speak of. So you can understand where separation now transits over to the twin flame, just on a bigger level. And I had many visitations, but one in particular with Horus. He came and he activated my left and right eye, which is the sun and the moon. And again, was communicated to me, it's got to be in balance, the sun and the moon, the yin and the yang, heaven and earth. All of that's got to come into wholeness. Now, all of a sudden, we're stepping beyond twin flame balancing and sacred counterparts. And we're going beyond those tangled ball will relationships. And now we're stepping into the greater whole, which actually is a pathway for all of us. It is our responsibility, and it is our contract to balance and embody the masculine and feminine balance, which comes from the sacral chakra, 2 fingers down below the belly button. We all, man or woman, that's what we are here to do, to balance that. And once that's balanced, that's what we're talking about anchoring. When all this energy and all this like divine feminine all coming in, the only way it's going to be anchored is through the physical. And the physical is representative of the masculine. So you can understand how it all ties into each other. Now, so much information, so I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible because there will be more posts after this, I'm pretty sure. So the feminine needs the masculine for her to express herself. So I've said that about him holding space so she can springboard. She will want to take risks to create, and she's got to be kept safe and feel held to be able to do that. So that's the masculine and feminine dance. So the feminine has to change her views on how she sees the masculine. So if your masculine has let you down, meaning too controlling internally and in physical form, you've got to change that. There's a whole lot of forgiveness that needs to come from that. So we've got to forgive and allow the masculine to come in. Now, when I did a recent channel over the weekend, especially over the portal weekend, that was power charged. I went into the Great Pyramid and they brought in Osiris right here. And I was stood right in front of him and he was breathing. I could see his breastplate right in front of me and all of his armor that he was wearing. And they just kept like literally shouting, going, let him in, let the divine masculine, allow him in, allow him in, allow him in. This lasted for about 12 minutes until eventually I was like, okay. And then this energy started swirling, and then I started to feel that dance coming in. And I was just like, right, okay, well, things are starting to mix now on a different level, because I'd obviously let go of my perceptions of the divine masculine being the thing that lets me down, ties my shoelaces together, is actually getting in my way. And I'm tired of being controlling and micromanaging everything, so I kind of gone divine masculine, flick, away you go. But now the divine feminine's grown and she's expanded and she's risen up. She's like, hey, where's my space holder? And I've gone, oh, did we need him? Sorry, let me bring him back, And that's what actually happened with me. I do believe that I had very much of the Isis energy running through me in the Great Pyramid, which is why Osiris stood here. So remember, I shan't go into it in great detail now, but the Isis and the Osiris story, he was cut into 14 pieces and sent down the Nile by his jealous brother. Isis went and found him after hiding in the reeds and in the river of the Nile. I mean, imagine that, how strong and courageous she had to be. She went and found him and put him back together, so she remembered Osiris. He needed her help, and she had to do an awful lot of strong strength, powerful stuff to put him back together. But then when he came back together, my God, was she able to just dance and go, okay, it's game time. So that's where we are right now. The divine masculine needs some healing within us, and you will actually relate to this if you have a divine masculine in masculine physical form in your life. You probably see the reflection of that, especially the twin flames. So he needs healing, and he's rising now. He's rising. So let him rise, but have a different relationship and understanding and connection with him than you did before. So let go of behaviors that cast the divine masculine as controlling. That's all got to go, as I said. When the healing happens, and we let go of all of that, okay, we let go of victimization, we let go of domination, disappointment, and dissatisfaction. So forgiveness, surrender, let it go, and let go of all expectation. Just do you, boo, and come back into this and allow that marriage to come into play. When the divine masculine gains strength, he is empowered to express himself in a more authentic way. So give him the chance within you to stand up and do exactly what you've been browbeating him to do. Take your foot off his head and allow him to come in. Okay, he gains wisdom and power in honoring boundaries. So he's the one with boundaries and just holding your space, so nobody comes in and fucks with you, basically. So he's like your bouncer. He's going to hold that space so you can go in and do this work. Okay, and then he basically serves from a place of power and peace. So even though he's powerful, he's extremely peaceful and nurturing. So masculine and feminine energies can unite in love, and harmony, bliss, peaceful fulfillment, and inner wholeness will come to fruition. So going to leave you with that. This is a long post, but I've flown through it really quickly. It's really important information. I'm going to bring through more practical ways on how to heal, how to bring it more into your day, on how to heal the divine masculine, more bits and pieces on how to vibe with that. But I needed to get this information out. So I do hope that it's assisted you on your journey. It's go time. The darkness is over, and it's now time to create an anchor. Let's do this. Love, 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 and deep honoring and respect and all of the above for you that's on your journey. I'm so glad I'm doing it with you. Peace.